Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our lecturer, Dr. Nur Azrin Muhammad Kushairi. Today, we will be presenting our case analysis on the industrial dispute involving Tasek Corporation Berhad. This case focuses on the conflict between the company and its employees regarding the discontinuation of a special ampau that had been given to employees working during Chinese New Year. Before we begin, let me introduce our group members. Our group consists of Aisha Azhara Izzuddin, Nur Irfa Azman, Daniel Hani Muhammad Aspa, Ayu Afzani Azali, and Aina Farisha Nur Afizan. I will begin with the first section of our presentation, which is the organization background and nature of conflicts. The organization involved is Tasek Corporation Berhad, a company that manufactures Simen and other related products. Since the company operates 24 hours a day, employees need to work in shift, including during weekends, public holidays, and festive seasons. To appreciate employees who work during Chinese New Year, the company had been giving a special ampau for many years. However, in 2022, the company decided to stop this payment, and this decision became the starting point of the industrial dispute. Next, nature of the conflicts. This case is an industrial relations conflict because there was a disagreement between the employees and the management regarding the special ampau. From the employee's perspective, the payment had become an employee benefit because it had been given continuously for many years. The trade union also supported the employees and argued that the company should continue providing the benefit. However, the management had a different opinion. They believed that special ampau was only a voluntary payment and not a legal obligation. They also argued that the payment was never included in any employment contract, collective agreement, or official company policy. Therefore, the conflict happened because both parties had different interpretations regarding the status of the special ampau.
Next is the parties involved. There were three main parties involved in this case. The first party was the National Union of Employees in companies manufacturing cement in Peninsular Malaysia. The union represented the affected employees and filed the dispute after Tasek Corporation stopped paying the special ampau in 2022. The union believed that this payment had become a long-standing benefit for employees who worked during Chinese New Year. The second party was Tasek Corporation Berhad, which acted as the employer. The company was responsible for deciding employee benefits and argued that the special ampau was given voluntarily, not because of any legal or contractual obligation. And finally, the Industrial Court of Malaysia acted as an independent third party. Its role was to hear both sides of the dispute and decide whether the company was legally required to continue paying the special ampau. Next, I will explain the positions and underlying interests of the parties involved in this conflict. The main conflict in this case involved the trade union and Tasek Corporation Berhad. The trade union argued that the special ampau had been paid continuously for more than 60 years. Since employees had to work during Chinese New Year and sacrifice time with their families to ensure the cement plant continued operating, the union believed the payment had become an established employee benefit. Their main underlying interest was to protect employees' welfare and ensure they receive fair recognition for their commitment. On the other hand, Tasek Corporation Berhad argued that the special ampau was a discretionary payment. The company stated that it was never included in the collective agreement, company policy, or any employment contract, so management had the right to stop the payment. Their underlying interest was to maintain the company's authority to decide employee benefits. Besides these two main parties, the affected employees and the industrial court also play an important role, with the court acting as a neutral body to resolve the dispute.
Next, I will explain the conflict management strategy based on the Thomas Kemen Conflict Mode Instrument or TKI model. The TKI model has a 5 styles which are competing, collaborating, compressing, avoiding, and accommodating. These styles show how massive as many competing are used during conflict. In the case the employer used a competing style, this means they were highly assertive and less cooperative. The company stopped paying the special ampau because they say it was not be compulsory payment but a voluntary one. They focus on their autonomy and finances control. The trade union also use a competitive style. They strong protective the employer right and disagree with the employer decision. After the negotiation failed, they brought the case to the insurance court. The insurance court used the commodity style. The court made a fair decision by balance both sides. Employer received the special ampau for 2022, but the employer does not need to contribute the payment in the future. In conclusion, both the employer and union using cooperative style, where the court using cooperative to solve their conflict fairly. We move to the station evaluation to conflict management strategy in the case. Even though the conflict was solved by the integration court, the early handling was not very effective. Both the employer and the trade union focused on their own interests instead of finding a solution together. The employer used a combating style to protect their legal right and stop their special ampau payment. However, this made employer feel unspirited. The trade union also used a competitive style by suing defending employer right and bringing the case to court. This means the conflict take longer and cost more. Overall, both sides focus on winning instead of cooperating. This affected trust and working relationship. In conclusion, a more cooperative approach could have solved the conflict early and better. The last section is about the negotiation process in the case. Negotiation is supposed to solve problem before they become dispute. However, in this case, the negotiation was not successful because both parties were not flexible. In the preparation stage, the employer wanted to stop the special ampau while the union wanted to continue it. Both sides come with the fixed goals. During the discussion stage, the focus was more on right instead of the finding solution, and communicating was not very effective. In the interest exploration stage, both sides only focus on their own demand. They need explore on her option like reduce the amount of ordering alternative reward. In the final stage, both parties reformed to compromise on the negotiation, reaches a deadlock. The case was taken to the industry court. In conclusion, the negotiation was based on a win-lose operation. A win-win operation could have solved an issue early and improve the relationship between both parties.
In this case, mediation would have been a better conflict management strategy before referring the dispute to the industrial court. Mediation allows both parties to openly discuss their concerns with the assistance of a neutral third party. Instead of arguing about legal rights, both the employer and the union could have focused on their actual interests. The company wanted to maintain financial flexibility, while the employees mainly wanted recognition for sacrificing their Chinese New Year celebrations. Through mediation, both parties could have explored alternatives such as providing the special angpao for one final year, introducing a new employee recognition program, or developing a return policy. Therefore, mediation could have reduced conflict, protected workplace relationships, and avoided lengthy legal proceedings. If I were the HR manager, I would focus on preventing the conflict before it became a legal dispute. First, I would discuss the issue with senior management to understand why the special angpao was discontinued. Next, I would meet with union representative before making any official announcement. During these discussions, I will encourage both parties to communicate openly and focus on finding practical solutions instead of arguing about legal rights. If no agreement could be reached, I would recommend independent mediation before proceeding to the industrial court. Finally, I would introduce a written policy regarding employee benefits and organize counseling and employee engagement program to rebuild trust after the conflict. Based on this case, I propose 6 recommendations to improve conflict management and prevent similar disputes in the future. First, the company should consult the union before changing any long-standing employee benefits. This gives employees an opportunity to express their concerns and helps management make more informed decisions. Second, the company should develop a clear written policy that distinguishes contractual benefits from discretionary benefits. This will reduce misunderstanding and ensure that all employees have the same expectations regarding company benefits. Third, both management and the union should adopt a collaborative negotiation approach instead of focusing only on their own positions. By identifying their common interests, they are more likely to reach a mutually beneficial solution without escalating the conflict. Fourth, HR should play a stronger role as an internal conflict mediator. HR can facilitate communication, clarify misunderstandings, and recommend mediation before the issue reach the industrial court. Fifth, after the conflict has been resolved, HR should organize employee engagement and counseling programs to rebuild trust, improve morale, and strengthen the relationship between management and employees. Finally, HR managers must uphold their ethical responsibility by balancing the company's interests with employees' rights. While supporting organizational goals, HR should also ensure fairness, transparency, respect, and employee well-being when making important employment decisions.
Now, I will continue to conclusion. To conclude, this case demonstrates that long-standing employees' benefits can become a serious source of industrial conflict when changes are introduced without proper communication and consultation. Although the special ampau was never included in the employment contract or collective agreement, employees have received it consistently for many years and therefore view it as established workplace practice. The difference in perception between management and employees become the main cause of these disputes. Our analysis also shows that both the employer and the union mainly adopted a competing conflict management style. Since both parties focused on protecting their own interests, negotiation reached a deadlock and the dispute had to be resolved by the industrial court. While the court provided a fair legal decision by granting the payment only for the year 2022, the case reminds us that legal solutions alone are not enough to rebuild trust and maintain strong employment relationships. Finally, this case highlights the importance of human resource management in preventing workplace conflict. HR should promote open communication, encourage collaboration and mediation, and ensure that organization policies are clearly documented and communicated. By involving employees before making major decisions, organization can strengthen industrial relations and create a workplace culture based on trust, fairness, and mutual respect. That's all from us. Thank you.